Hello and good morning, everyone here and online as well. And welcome to the OEHI training workshop we have organized for the next 3 days. It is a bit long, but I hope it is very exciting. Uh, and we'll be using this webinar mode for most of the talks for people on online, and we'll switch to a Zoom session for the hands-on to have breakout rooms and things. And in any case, you can always ask us questions on the chat and also use the Q&A. I see everyone is already well adept at using it. So that's very good. So we have a exciting day. I've sent an agenda already in the morning. To start with, I think we'll start with an introduction to what is OEHI. I'll be giving a short overview of OEHI, what we plan to achieve, what are our aims. And then I'll hand it over to Professor Dirk Pleiter for the rest of the day. Okay, let me make a presentation. Is there any questions at this moment? Of if there is any problem, please leave it in the chat on the issues in the. If you can't hear me or you can't see anything, yes. Okay, what is OEHI? OEHI is Open Edge and HPC initiative. And this is one of the events we had in Frankfurt. This is the FIAS. We have one of our clusters in Frankfurt, Haiku cluster. So we organized an inauguration meeting last year. Obviously, we had this is January now. And we had a lot of meetings there, and we inaugurated the cluster. So what is the vision of OEHI? OEHI's main purpose is to really foster the development of an ecosystem based on ARM and RISC-V. I think most of you might have known very well ARM and RISC-V. ARM is ISA developed in the UK, and it's a lot of chipsets are made out of this. And RISC-V is an open source based ISA. And these are new technologies coming in, competing against the x86, which is main drivers for mainly driven by Intel and AMD. So the mission of OEHI is mainly to make sure this new technologies, ARM is not new, it's been there for a decade or more, and RISC-V is developing very fast. And we want to make sure these new technologies are ready and well suited for different segments of the IT, not only high performance computing, edge computing, and AI. And we have to lay the foundation for a compute continuum where you see a lot of applications have become workflows which span across different infrastructure, across the infrastructure. Like you have your all the data is collected by the edge devices, then the data is stored in the cloud, and then you use this data to really run your simulations or AI training on the HPC resources. And again, the data is then fed back to the edge devices. We have seen a lot of workflows where it spans across multiple compute devices. And how do we enable innovation in this sector, actually? And also support in general various industries undergoing digitization, actually, by bringing all the players together to enrich this ecosystem of ISV solution providers, integrators. So I think this is a huge wide area, but I think on OEHI, at least for the first year, we want to focus on mainly two things, actually. One is the HPC ecosystem development, mainly for the ARM and RISC-V. Make sure the ARM is a leading solution for HPC. I think there's a lot of push in the European region for making ARM as a preferred solution, and also developing RISC-V. RISC-V is still in its growing very fast, but it's still in its infancy. Make sure that I think RISC-V is ready for the future. And since it's based on it's very open hardware, or it is ISA is very open, so it makes I think it's leads to good innovation actually. And on the second end, we want to innovate towards a compute continuum, which means developing a digital twin platform where we can see multiple devices, interconnection of devices from HPC to edge, and also developing an ecosystem for different verticals like autonomous driving, smart city. We want to do a POC in the first year. So what is the value add for members in general in OEHI? I think for all the members, I think we want to foster a path towards market success for ARM-based vendors and solution providers. Currently, we have some roadblocks, but I think we want to make sure that there is no issues for ARM success in the market. And similarly, this will also teach us how to make sure that the RISC-V will not have the same problems when it comes to the market in the future actually. As I told you, I think we want to drive innovation in the compute continuum, mainly in the realization of digital twins, in solving problems like smart manufacturing, climate, smart cities. And OEHI is also involved in creating assets in terms of technical specifications, standards, reference architectures here actually. So this is the our ecosystem in general. I think if you see, I think there's a lot of current partners of OEHI here. A lot of them, I think University of Gottingen is one of them, which is the host for us here, and we are very thankful for them. And there are also other institutes in Germany like Jülich, HLRS, also KTH from Sweden, BSc from Barcelona, integrators like E4, Megware, and also ARM is already there. So I think we have a group of industry partners and also academic institutions, and we've also brought in a lot of scale-ups now through the AT digital platform to start working with us in this OEHI. So I think we have it mainly acts as a think tank, a co-design, a marketing and networking avenue, but mainly I think through our reference platforms we have multiple hardware platforms and clusters through which I think you can work with us, work with the vendors, provide education and training, workshops and hackathon. One of the events is we are having now, and act as a center of excellence for computing and ARM ecosystem in general. So you can see, I think there are at least, I have listed 3 of the current clusters we have. One is the HiQ cluster, I think, which you have been applying access to over the last few weeks, or I've been emailing you to apply access. We have a couple of clusters in E4, managed by E4, both ARM based and RISC-V based. I think they have the first RISC-V based cluster in Europe, I think. It's in the University of Bologna. And also we have an Ampere based cluster at Karthee in University of Gottingen. And we also collaborate closely with EAT Digital in bringing scale-ups and startups to the ecosystem. Fruit Punch of AI, which is mainly promoting sustainable goals in AI by having challenges for AI challenges where people can participate and contribute. Eclipse Foundations. DECISE is a project, a European project, which is involves multiple OEHI partners where we have been working together, and also University of Cambridge and EPFL. So what is the main deliverables, at least for OEHI? If you can see at the bottom, actually there's a lot of multiple hardware architectures like Kumpeng. Kumpeng is Huawei's ARM. EPI is European Processor Initiative. There's also Marvels and other ARM. There's a multiple ARM processors coming into the market. Also we can see that the RISC-V, and obviously there is a zoo of accelerators now with AI accelerators, and also these standard ones from NVIDIA, AMD or Intel. So we have quite a diverse range of hardware here. And how do you make sure the HPC software or software in general is optimized for ARM and it works very well for the hardware. So you're spending a lot of money on your hardware. You don't want to just throw money out of it. You want to get very good performance out of it. One of the recent conferences, people were mentioning how people usually run at an efficiency of less than 5%. So you're paying for some hardware, but you're using only 5% of it all the time. So it's not really good. So you need to make sure that you use it as good as possible. Your software should help you with all the optimizations, and make sure the whole stack is really optimized, and we have to make sure the benchmarking is there to showcase these abilities, and then also developing a talents. Actually, I think, as you can see with the growth of HPC and AI in general, there's a lot of need for talent in across the world, but also in Europe. So we need to make sure that I think we have people, talent available to really grow this ecosystem actually. So that's one of the main deliverables. That's why OEHI is there. And recently we have been very, I would say we have been lucky or successful in registering this as a legal entity. Yeah, that's pretty much I have to say on the OEHI. And if you have any questions, I can take on the OEHI. If you are interested in joining OEHI, I'm happy to we can discuss this offline. That is something we can always explore. Thank you.